Library of Heaven's Path. Chapter 56, Surrounded, 2. So, it seems that he isn't weak. No wonder he is so arrogant. Seeing number 4 being sent flying by a single palm, Master Mo Yang froze for a moment before his expression turned even more savage. Waving his hands grandly, as though he was in control of the entire situation, he said, "However, your luck ends here." After which, he turned to look at the artifact dealer by the side and said, "End it fast. We still have matters to attend to." On. The artifact dealer nodded his head and advances forward. Boom. Before he even struck, he already emanated an aura from his body. It was similar to the mountains and the oceans, immeasurable. If one were to close their eyes, they could clearly feel 10 acupoints in the other party's body absorbing and exuding spiritual energy, each of them bright as though they were the stars. Pixie Realm expert? Zhang Xuan was taken aback. At Fighter 6 Dan Pixie Realm, one could start opening up the acupoints within their body to absorb the spiritual energy from the world and refine it for their own usage. At this level of cultivation, regardless of whether it was reaction speed or strength, they would be enhanced significantly. In Hongtian Academy, this was the level of strength an elder possessed. It was beyond his expectations that a scammer possessed such strength. Are you afraid? If so, kneel down, apologize and compensate our losses. Otherwise, death awaits you. Noticing Zhang Xuan's astonishment, he thought that he was apprehensive of his strength. Thus, with a long cry, he stepped forward, reminiscent of a god who governed over life and death. Kneel down? Apologize. Compensate your losses? Zhang Xuan shook his head. I am not that free to be apologizing and giving compensation to a scammer. If you all have such an interest, you all could kneel down to me instead and compensate my losses from your assault today. This way, I can consider letting you all off the hook. What did you say? Is this fellow mad? Master Mo Yang and the artifact owner started to suspect whether this fellow was insane. Our people far outnumber you. Furthermore, we have Pixie Realm experts on our side. Yet, you expect us to kneel down to a lonesome young man like you? What are you trying to act cool for? Besides, compensate your losses for the assault. You have losses my ass. The head of our number 4 is still lodged into the ground. If we are speaking about losses, ours are significantly greater, okay. Stop spouting nonsense with him, just kill him. Master Mo Yang gestured. On. The artifact owner nodded his head. Exerting force on the soles of his feet, he charged towards Zhang Xuan with his fingers wide open in the shape of a palm. Hoo-hoo. Before he could get close, the rustling of the wind could be heard, as though an eagle trying to prey on a rabbit. It gave others an oppressing sensation, a massive pressure that they were seemingly unable to withstand. It is number 2's battle technique, Soaring Eagle. This battle technique can be considered to be superior even among those in the mortal intermediate tier. Isn't it a little too excessive to be using it to deal with a young lad? Hee, it isn't excessive. This lad is able to smack away number 4 with a single palm strike of his. This shows that he is pretty capable as well. However, his luck has come to an end, now that he is facing number 2's Soaring Eagle. Seeing the artifact dealer executing such an incredible technique, the crowd nodded their heads in approval. Soaring Eagle was in the forefront even among the mortal intermediate tier battle techniques. The moment it was executed, one would emit a majestic aura, reminiscent of an eagle hunting down a rabbit, leaving his opponent with the impression of mountains and oceans, as well as a feeling of helplessness before such overwhelming might. Even if their leader Master Mo Yang were to encounter it, he would have to retreat temporarily so as to avoid facing it head-on. Soaring Eagle? The moment the other party executed his battle technique, a manual appeared in Zhang Xuan's head and written on it were the flaws and the history of this artifact dealer. Scanning through it with his consciousness, Zhang Xuan imprinted this information into his mind, and suddenly, a bizarre expression appeared on his face. Who? Due to the lack of time, he couldn't thoroughly ponder over it. The battle technique executed by the artifact dealer was already right before him. A battle technique allowed one to unleash their strength better, thus bringing them to greater heights. As a Pixie Realm expert who had opened 10 acupoints, the artifact dealer wasn't weak at all. Complemented with the mortal intermediate tier battle technique, he carried with him a very powerful and oppressive aura. Die. A savage smile appearing on his face was similar to the radiance of a flower. However, before this flower could finish blooming, his eyes narrowed and a ghastly cry sounded, "Ah!" A tragic howl echoed across the night sky, as though a stone grinder had crushed the ears of a dog. What happened? At the very start, Master Mo Yang and the rest thought that Zhang Xuan would be crushed in an instant by the strength of number 4. However, they didn't expect that the latter would end up so tragically. Recalling the defeat of number 4, they swiftly turned their heads to take a look, and the sight before them caused their face to twitch, almost passing out on the spot. The young man before them totally ignored the magnificence of the artifact dealer and sent a kick upwards toward his dignity as a man. Kaka, the sound of egg breaking apart caused everyone's face to twitch uncontrollably. Su. The next moment, the artifact dealer was sent flying as though he was a rubber ball, crashing into a wall not too far away, forming a word. Initially, it should have been a word, but from the looks of it, there probably wasn't a chance for it anymore. Incredible. Seeing how he was able to easily kick away the Pixie Realm artifact dealer who was in the midst of executing his battle technique, Zhang Xuan nodded his head in approval. Even though his physical body was significantly stronger than the other party was skilled in fighting techniques and also possessed great speed. If Zhang Xuan fought normally, he would have had to resort to several means to cripple him, and even so, it would have taken several blows to do it. However, with the Library of Heaven's Path, he was able to clearly see through the flaws of the other party. As such, subduing him became an easy task. With a single kick, the bird flew away and the egg shattered. Even if he was a Pixie Realm expert, he wasn't too far off from death from that kick. Something is amiss about this lad. Let's attack him together. Seeing Zhang Xuan smacked number 4 into the ground and kicked number 2 to the point that he no longer possessed his lower companion, no matter how foolish Master Mo Yang could be, he clearly understood that the lad before him wasn't simple, and his previous contemptuous gaze hardened. Hualala. Upon hearing the orders, even though the remaining few were sweating profusely and a numbing sensation pervaded their crotches, they dared not disobey the orders and stepped forward to encircle Zhang Xuan. Go. With a bellow, the remaining few immediately charged forward. All kinds of powerful attacks fell relentlessly onto Zhang Xuan. Their Genkai gushed through their meridians and the might of their attacks generated powerful shock waves. Just like the previous number 4, the rest of them were all Fighter 5 Dan Dingley realm experts. Despite the fact that they outnumbered Zhang Xuan, due to his ability to see through the flaws of others and his Pixie Realm pinnacle level fighting prowess, they did not pose a threat to him at all. Something is not right. Why are there only these few attacks? Parrying all of the attacks that came flying towards him, a thought suddenly flashed through Zhang Xuan's mind, causing him to pause for a moment. The artifact dealer, who was only the number 2 in their midst, possessed the strength of Pixie Realm. Logically speaking, the fake Master Mo Yang should be significantly stronger than him. However, why was he not attacking with the rest of the lot? If he were to attack, perhaps Zhang Xuan might have a difficult time coping with the attacks. Just as he was bewildered over the bizarre situation, he noticed a figure who had already retreated 10 meters away. In the midst of his escape, he shouted, "You all kill him, I'll be back soon." Ah! Hearing these words, the attacking crowd staggered. There was no need to guess the situation. It was clear to see that their boss, upon sensing that the situation had gone awry, had abandoned them and fled. Shameless! Zhang Xuan shouted in surprising harmony with the rest of the supports. Just a moment ago, he was still bellowing so righteously. Yet, at the next moment, he turned around to flee, leaving his subordinates in a lurch. No wonder he was able to escape the pursuit of Liu's kingdom. He is simply way too shameless to be caught that easily.